Hey everybody, welcome back. And tonight we are going to talk about, or today, whenever you're watching this, we are going to talk a little bit about adding two-digit numbers. Okay, so as you can see, I got a whole bunch of problems on here. Now we're not going to go through every single one of these problems, but we're going to go through a few. And once we are all done, I am going to start putting a Google form together. So you will see a link below the video, and parents, if you're watching this along with them, with your kiddos, you can help kind of direct them to that area. But I put together a Google form that's going to have all of these first 12 problems, even the ones that we do, so that you can go through, you can test yourself, and you can see exactly how well you are doing as well. Okay, so you can check yourself, you can practice some of these when we are done with this video. But we're going to be adding two-digit numbers today, like I said. Now, number one, we have 37 and we have 2. Obviously, that's not two-digit numbers. That's a 2-digit and a 1-digit. But that's a good way to warm up, so let's do that. So if we have 37 and we have 2. Adding means we're going to be going up. We're going to be adding more to it. We're going to have more of something. So if I have 37 pencils and I add 2 more, we're going to have 37 plus 2. 2 more pencils than we had before. So we can just count, okay, 37, 38, 39. And that's our 2. Simple as that. Okay, so 39. Another way that you can do this, though, and one thing I'm going to recommend, and we are going to start doing as we start to work our way through these problems and some other ones on the next page, is that we do this. Stack them. Okay? For some people, it's going to work best to just have them side by side like that, and you can do it mentally. But what I like to do is I like to stack these. Okay? We just stack them ones on top of ones, tens on top of tens, hundreds on top of hundreds, whatever we're going to be adding together. And then we can just add them going straight up and down. It makes it a little bit more organized in your mind. And like I said, that's how I tend to think about these things, no matter what kind of addition we've got, addition or subtraction, multiplication. I like to use the stacking method. Organized, kind of lets me get my thoughts together. Okay, lets me see my groups. If we did that, we can say, okay, 7 plus 2 is 9. And then we'd have 0 groups of 10 right there. We just don't say 0, 2, it's just 2. But 0 groups of 10 plus 3 groups of 10 is 3 groups of 10. And that's our answer to that one. Okay. We could do the same thing with number 7 over here. Number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, 3, 6, all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm going to let you practice those because in this example and in this video, we are going to be talking about primarily these 2-digit plus 2-digit. Okay, and that's why I want to make sure that I talk about the importance of stacking those numbers. Stacking those numbers. Okay, so if I have example number 2 here, we got 18 plus 36. Okay. So let's stack those two together. I'll draw a line right here. 18 plus 36. And I'll move that up a little bit so it's easier to see. We're going to use all that room. And like I said, when we stack, we're going to put our ones on top of ones, tens on top of tens, line everything up just as it needs to be. Okay. So now I can focus on just the ones at a time, just the tens at a time, and that's going to make things a little bit easier when we're adding these bigger numbers, more than just single-digit numbers. Okay? And it becomes adding single-digit numbers. Okay, we turn, maybe you're adding millions. You're adding something with 6 digits in it. If you stack them up like this, really all you're working with are single digits at a time. Makes your life a little bit easier that way. So we're just going to look at 8 plus 6. We'll ignore the tens. We're just looking at the ones right now. 8 plus 6. So if you know your basic adding facts, this is going to be very, very easy to figure out. 8 plus 6, well, we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But we can't have 14 ones down here, can we? We have to only have one digit in each one of these places down here. So what we are going to do, and this is how I like to do it, we have 14, 1 and 4. Well, we have a 1 in the tens place, we have a 4 in the ones place. So we're going to put that little 1 up here that we have in the tens right up here, because we're going to add it into our tens group. Okay? And then down here, we're going to put our 4, because that's the number of ones that we had in 14. We had one group of 10 and 4, so we have our 1 and our 4 accounted for there. So we've got both of our numbers. Then we look at our big numbers here, our groups of 10. We have one group of 10 and 3 more groups of 10. 1 plus 3 is 4. But then we also have our other group of 10 right over here that we moved over when we added 8 and 6 together. So we have a group of 10, 3 groups of 10, and another group of 10, which, if we add that together, is 5 groups of 10. And we end up with 54 for number 2. So 54. Beautiful. Let's try another one. Let's do 51 plus 11. Now there we had to regroup. That's what we call that. When we have to bring a 10 over here, put our ones down here, add up a whole bunch of numbers. That's our regrouping. Okay. And we'll talk more about that in future videos as well, especially with subtraction. Subtraction and regrouping can be a little bit tricky. We'll talk about that in a future video. This one we shouldn't have any regrouping to do though. We get 51 plus 11. 51 plus 11. Okay. So we start in our ones again. We got our ones lined up. We have our tens lined up. We have 1 and 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And there's no tens that we have to worry about, so we don't have a little number to put over there or anything like that. So we can just move on to our tens. We have 5 groups of 10. One group of 10. 5 plus 1 is 6 groups of 10. And that's our answer for number 12, is 62. We ended up with 6 groups of 10 and 2 ones. Simple enough, right? Now, I'm going to leave the rest of those for you to do on your own in that Google form down below, and you can test yourself, practice yourself, and kind of see how you're doing. But I do have another one that we're going to look at down here. I'll try to get it centered for you. We haven't done a whole lot of word problems. In fact, I don't think we've done any word problems in any of the videos so far. But word problems are an important kind of problem. They might look a little bit scary because there's a whole bunch of words and you have to pick out the numbers that you need. You have to pick out the information you need. But really, word problems are what we're going to worry about in everyday life. Okay? Your life is filled with word problems. So these are the perfect kind of practice. This is exactly what you're going to be using in your daily life. Okay? Word problems aren't scary. They just kind of give you a lot of information. As long as you can pick out the information that you need, that's all you need to worry about. Okay? They're not scary at all once you practice them. So our word problem is, at the farmer's market, Billy bought a bag of 12 apples, and Laura bought a box of 16 oranges. So the question we want to answer is, how many total pieces of fruit did they buy together? Okay? So we see that word total. We see that word together. Both of those tell me, okay, it's going to be an addition problem. We're going to take one group of fruit and another group of fruit, or in other problems, it could be one group of something and another group of something, and we're going to add it together. So we have our two numbers. Right here's one number, and right here's another number. Okay, we've got apples, we've got oranges. They are both kinds of fruit, so we're going to add those two numbers together. 12 plus 16. And that's going to give us our total amount of fruit that these two people bought at that farmer's market. So again, we've got everything lined up. Ones on top of ones, tens on top of tens. Okay, we got our plus so that we know what we're doing to those two numbers. 2 plus 6 is 8. So we have 8 ones. No groups of 10. We didn't have to regroup. So we can move on to our tens. We have one group of 10 and another group of 10. We end up with two groups of 10, or 20. 20 plus our 8 ones is simply 28. So 28 pieces of fruit, and I am going to write that. 28 pieces of fruit. In word problems, writing out what you are talking about is very, very important. Okay, if I just wrote 28, 28 could be anything. If I just wrote down 28 as my final answer, who knows? Somebody could be thinking I'm talking about 28 puppies, or 28 Maseratis. I mean, it could be anything. Okay, so if I say 28 pieces of fruit, person knows what I'm talking about, and that is my final answer. Yeah, making sense so far? All right, now we're going to move into something that's a little bit trickier. It's not crazy tricky, but it's tricky. Yeah. We are going to be doing a little something in this set of problems that is a special type of math, and I'm going to write that type of math right up here. It is called algebra. Yeah, sounds like a big scary word, but it's just another type of math. Just like adding, just like subtracting, just like multiplying, just like dividing, just like geometry when you're working with shapes. Okay? Algebra is a special type of math that you can do. And algebra is basically finding out information that you don't know. Okay? And using something in place of a number you're trying to figure out. Okay? You notice down here in the problems, they're asking us to find the missing digit that belongs in the box. Well, once you get older, they're going to start using other things instead of boxes in algebra problems. But in these cases, we're just putting in a box for a missing number. Okay? Now, these ones I did not put in the Google form for you. I'm just going to worry about the problems on the first page. But feel free at any point, if you want to pause the video, take a look at these after we do one or two, feel free to do so. Get some experience, get some practice with these as well. But we've got 72 plus 20-something equals 94. So we have to think in a little bit different way when we do this kind of problem. So once again, first thing I want you to do is I'm going to have you stack. Okay? So 72 plus 20-something. Okay? And I'm going to put a box right there because we need to figure out what that something is. That's our goal. Has to equal 94. That's what makes this problem and this kind of problem different, is that we know what the final answer is, but we're missing that ones place in that number right there. It's 20-something, but we don't know what that something is, so we need to think about that. Okay. So if we look at this, we have a 7 and a 2. Okay, I'm going to start there because we're missing what's in the one spot. I'm going to look at the tens first because I know what both of those numbers are. We have a 7, we have a 2. 7 plus 2 is 9, and it does say 9 right down here. Okay, so that's good. So we know 70 plus 20 is 90, or 7 groups of 10 plus 2 groups of 10 equals 9 groups of 10. So now I need to think 2 plus what equals 4? Okay. 2 plus what equals 4? And the answer to that would be 2. We have 2 plus 2 equals 4. We have no extras. We have no groups of 10, so we don't have to bring any over here. And then 7 plus 2 is equal to 9. So 2 would be our missing digit. And I'll even put that in the box right there. Okay. Let's do another one that has a missing number in the 10 spot. Let's take a look at this one right here. We did that one right here. Let's take a look at something 4 plus 31 equals 75. Okay, so once again, we know what the answer is down here. We're looking for the number that should go in that box. Okay, so we need to do some thinking here. Well, we know what both of our 1 numbers are. The numbers in the ones place are 4 and 1. Does that equal 5? Yeah, so our 1s, we're done with that. We don't need to worry about the 1s. But in the tens place, we have our box and we have a 3. Something plus 3 has to equal 7. What plus 3 equals 7? Well, you could say 7 minus 3 and figure what that is. But you know what? I know that 4 plus 3 equals 7. So if I have 4 groups of 10 and 3 groups of 10, that equals 7 groups of 10. So my 4 plus 1 does equal 5, and my 4 plus 3 does equal 7. Good stuff. So I know that the number that belongs in that box is in fact a 4. Easy enough. Let's do one more of those. And this one's going to be a little bit trickier. My chair is a little bit squeaky. I'm not sure why today, but the chair is a little bit squeaky. Let's draw this one out. 8 plus 30 something equals 121. 83 plus 30 something equals 121. This is the first time in this video that we have seen a number in the hundreds. But it's not going to be that bad. Okay? And you'll see why in just a moment. Okay? Now, once again, I'm going to start with my tens because I know both of them are there. Okay? I know both of those numbers are. 8 plus 3 equals 11. Uh-oh. We don't have an 11 down here. This is 12. That's going to be a problem. And then I look back here, the ones. 3 plus something has to equal 1. Well, can I add 3 plus something and get 1? There's a way later on that you can do that with a special kind of number, but we're not going to worry about that. I can't add something to 3 and get 1. But you know what? I could add something to 3 and get 11. Kind of like we had in that problem before where we had to write our 14, but there's not a spot for 2 digits in our ones place. We had to put our 10 up with the groups of 10, and we had to put our 4 down below in the ones. We're going to do the same thing here. Okay? We're going to say 3 plus what equals 11. We have our group of 10 that we put up here, which would make this true. 1 plus 3 is 4. 8 plus 4 does equal 12. And then we put our 1 down here. So 11. 3 plus what equals 11 then? If we count it out, it's going to be 8. So 3 plus 8 would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got our group of 10 that we brought over here. That makes that 12. We got our 1 down there. That makes that true. So we know 83 plus 38 equals 121. Easy enough, right? It makes you think, like I said, in a different way. Algebra is a different kind of thinking. It's a kind of math, but it's a kind of thinking as well. So keep those in mind as you work with these. Okay? Like I said, if you want to work through some of these, feel free to pause this at any point in time and take a look at any of these problems. Practice them on your own. Write them down on your sheet of paper. There aren't any in the Google form that I've got down below. But feel free to practice any of these other, 5 that we haven't done yet. They're good practice. It's a good way to get you started thinking in an algebraic way. Kind of weird to be thinking about algebra in elementary school. Most of the time it's high school when you really start talking algebra. But elementary school is a good time to start thinking in this algebraic way. So if you can do these problems, you can do algebra. I believe in you. I know you can. Okay? All it takes is practice. But that is all for this video. We covered adding 2-digit numbers, and we covered filling in missing numbers, doing a little bit of algebraic type math. So thank you for watching this. As always, if you have any video suggestions, feel free to drop it in the comments below. If you have any other comments you want to throw my way, feel free to drop that in the comments. If you just want to say hi, go ahead and throw that in the comments. I'm always happy to see a hi down there or a hello. But most of all, I really want to make sure that you are getting what's important out of these problems. I want to help you. That's my sole purpose, as I've said in other videos as well. My sole purpose in making these videos is to make sure that you are getting help understanding some of this tougher math stuff. Okay? So if there's any other way that I can help you, if this makes sense, let me know. If you've got another way that you want to throw out there that might help somebody else, feel free to drop that in the comments as well, because these videos are here to help you and your parents understand the kind of math that you're doing in school. I want to give you a fresh way of seeing how to do these kind of math problems. So thank you for watching this. Next time, the next video that I am going to put up for you is going to be talking about adding money, which again sounds like it might be a little tricky, but you'll find out if you watch that next video that adding money is just like adding any other number. It's no different than adding the numbers that we added today. So tune in for the next one. And until next time, I will see you and have a wonderful rest of your day.